Yum. Hi. It's a Yogi. This is Yogi. We love him. He's the sweetest puppy in the whole wide world. Yes. You're kind of stinky though. You need a bath. So it snowed here today, and so it is freezing outside. And I have one dog, and her name is Sis. If you watched the other video that I did last week, she actually jumped up here. Anyway, she hates the snow, and so she is cuddled up on the bed in the blankets because there's no way I can get her out here. So anyway, let's do some makeup. Today we are going to dive in with the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Blood Sugar Palette. I love this thing, and I've been dying to just play with it. So I sat down and I played with it, and if you've never seen it before, this is what the inside of it looks like. Oh my goodness. I'm in love with it. Anyway, we did a little cat wing and kind of like a little cat eye wing look, sort of whatever thing. Whatever this is. We played with this. If you want to learn how to do this, you can keep watching.
First things first, Farsali Unicorn Essence Primer. We're going to dab that all over the face and then just rub it on in. And moisturizer. Peter Thomas Roth's Hungarian Thermal Water. We're going to apply that all over the face so that we have a moisturized face. And now time for second primer. NYX Studio Perfect Photo Loving Primer. Very similar to the Smashbox Photo Filter Primer, which I love. And starting off with the face paint, Too Faced Born This Way foundation in the shade Pearl. We're pouncing that all over the face with a damp Morphe sponge. I love the way that the Morphe sponges apply foundation. So good. Now for concealer, Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Fair. We're going to apply that underneath the eyes, on the nose, on the cupid's bow, the chin, and the forehead, just anywhere you want to be lightened. And we are going to apply that on top of the lids as well, just to start as a base for our eyeshadow look. And immediately going in with the Veil Translucent powder from Hourglass and that same damp Morphe sponge. We're going to apply that underneath the eyes so we don't have any creasing, and on the eyelids as well. Now the Hoola Quickie Contour Stick, and we are going to carve out our contour, starting from the upper ear down to the lip almost, and then around the outside of our jawline, around the outside of our forehead, just anywhere you want the shadows to be cast on your face. Yes, JHO2 brush with the Veil Hourglass Translucent Powder. We're going to apply that all over the face just to set that base. For some reason, this happens literally every time. Whatever. Now we're spritzing MAC Fix Plus Pink Light all over the face just to bring a little bit more moisture. And eyebrows. Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow. Ta-da! Eyebrows are done. Now for this beauty, the Blood Sugar Palette from Jeffree Star Cosmetics, starting with the shade Cake Mix on a JH32 brush. We're going to apply that all over the lid to create our base shade and then our transition shade on the outer corners. And we're grabbing a damp beauty sponge and some translucent powder to create where our wing will be. Now grabbing the shade Ouch on that same JH32 brush, and we're going to buff out our transition on those outer corners. And grabbing the shade Root Canal, which is a beautiful, beautiful purple pigmented shadow, and we're going to start our cat wing with those windshield wiper motions just back and forth and some packing motions as well. You can see that I dip in a couple different times because you get more of a pigment payoff the more layers you put on. Now we're grabbing the shade Prick on that same JH32 brush. We're going to start packing that on the outer lid, and then we are going to transition it out to our wing. Now grabbing the shade Fresh Meat on that same JH32 brush, we're going to begin packing it in the very outer corner and just deepening our purpley look. Now we're grabbing the shade Extraction, same JH32 brush. Actually, I think I pick up a JH35 brush. Either one will work just fine. We're going to start that very outer V deepening. Now for the shade Como, which is an absolutely beautiful deep purple, and we are grabbing this is a different JH35 brush. It's just sort of stained, but it's fine. So we're going to pack that in the very outer corner, and we're going to transition all of the shades together with those windshield wiper motions. Now we're grabbing the shade Cavity on a JH33 brush. This is a very good blending brush for the very outer corner, which is what I'm looking for, more of a pink glow from underneath. So you can see the transition between everything. Now grabbing I don't know what kind of brush this is, and the Tarte Shape Tape, we're going to cut the crease, and we're going to drag that all over the lid out to the outer corner until it's tacky, and picking back up that JH35 brush that we picked up Coma on to transition those two shades, because we do not want a harsh line where we laid down that concealer. Now picking up Root Canal on a JH40 brush, which is more of a defined blending brush, we're going to start that second shade, as you can see, where we will transition from our gold into our purple into that very, very deep, deep purple. Now grabbing Sweetener on a JH42 brush, we're going to apply that on that very inner corner and then follow where we cut the crease all the way up. And grabbing some MAC Fix Plus Pink Light, we're going to spritz that to get a little bit more vibrancy. Do not mind the flashing light in the background. That's just my light dying. It's fine. Picking back up the JH40 brush and a little bit more Root Canal, we're going to transition the two shades together, the gold and the purple, so we have a softer transition instead of that harsh line that you can see at the top. And back in with the JH35 brush to transition all three of the shades together so they smoothly move. Now a JH02 brush to buff off all of that excess powder. Now you can see what that powder does to create that very distinct, defined cat eye right there. And we're grabbing a which one is this? 39 brush with the lower lash on that purple. We're doing the exact same thing that we did on the lid, only we're just transitioning on to the bottom, and that JH42 brush in that Sweetener shade. Now on a clean JH42 brush, we are grabbing the shade Glucose, which is just a pure white to highlight the brow bone and the inner corner. Now the Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Light and Medium shades. We're going to contour out our cheeks with the JH05 brush. Just buff back and forth and back and forth. We'll cut that with our damp beauty sponge and some translucent powder. Now I don't know what brush this is from IT Cosmetics, but I love it to contour my nose. And so we'll do that and then go back in with that damp beauty sponge and some translucent powder to define it. Now we're using the Jaclyn Hill Becca Cosmetics Champagne Pop palette in the shade Rose Spritz for our blush, and the Forever Lit from the Nicole Guerriero Anastasia Beverly Hills highlighter palette to highlight, and a beauty sponge. Buff off all the excess powder. Grabbing the L'Oreal Voluminous Carbon Black Mascara for our lashes, and then we're going to put on some fake lashes. Those just transition way better with that for some reason. Now grabbing the Koko Kollection Kylie Cosmetics shade Khlo Money to finish off our lips. And some MAC Fix Plus to finish the whole thing off. And there you have it. A beautiful cat eye, wing, whatever this is look from Jeffree Star Cosmetics Blood Sugar Palette. I hope you liked this video. If you do, give it a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe. I put out new videos every single Monday, and I'll see you in my next one.